Josh Parcell joining us from College Football Country. Please join him there for what I would say would be the best college football country coverage in the country. Well, we'll say tied for best, Josh. Can we go with that?
Yeah, that's fine. No, I'll take that.
Definitely. So let's look ahead to week 4. And as we talked before we started to record, there's not the obvious game of the week matchup, Oklahoma, Ohio State, but there is a ton of meaningful matchups now that we're diving almost primarily into conference play. So it's almost impossible to carve through all these decent matchups. So let's go by conference. And an intriguing matchup in the SEC that we didn't necessarily anticipate, with Mississippi State going to Georgia. The Bulldogs undefeated, and the Bulldogs are undefeated. Mississippi State coming off that rather impressive win over LSU. Now, the Tigers have their own issues, and obviously Matt Canada has not fixed them on offense. But to win by 30 against the Tigers, very impressive. So we've got Mississippi State, Georgia. We got Vandy coming off an impressive showing at home against a Kansas State team that we expected to win at least 8 or 9 games, something in that range. Vandy hosting Alabama, Texas A&M, Arkansas, probably off the radar, and not a lot of meaning there since they both were embarrassed to different degrees in their non-conference games. So your thoughts about the SEC this weekend?
I mean, the big one is Mississippi State, Georgia. I mean, you look at Mississippi State, I have them as the number 4 team in the country right now. If you look at what they did to LSU, who was a pretty good team, that was one of the most impressive wins so far this season, to do it by 30 points at home. I love what the Bulldogs have done. Dan Mullen has done such a great job. It's hard a lot of times for a program like Mississippi State that's a middle-of-the-road program, not a ton of tradition, that catches lightning in a bottle with a guy like Dak Prescott. You wonder if they can sustain that type of success after he leaves. Nick Fitzgerald has stepped in now, and in his second year as a starter, has clearly been able to carry that torch that Prescott left when he went to Dallas. I think Mississippi State is a tremendous team. They got a ton of talent on the defensive side as well. They showed that in shutting down an LSU offense that's very one-dimensional right now. So now the test is Georgia. Georgia's a better team than LSU. They've got better quarterback play. They've got very good running back play, more weapons on the offensive side, better coach team, and a very good defense as well, not to mention going on the road. So I'd like the Bulldogs this week. I think Georgia is a very good team. I like the Georgia Bulldogs this week, I should say. But I do think that Mississippi State has a chance to make another statement now. I think this is, in my mind, my top 25, which just went out on CFP Country. This is number 4 versus number 5. I mean, these are 2 of the top 5 teams at the moment in college football. So it's a huge, huge game. It may not be getting quite the same buzz because if you look at the AP poll, it's 11 versus 17, still a great game. To me, this is one of the best games we've had so far this season in college football.
Josh, we're on the same plane. I've got 6 versus 7. There you go, Georgia, Mississippi State. Look at the resumes and not the name on the helmet.